Welcome to the last Retort with Global Voice Broadcasting. Today's episode is brought to you by Pacific City Escrow. If you want an escrow partner that's going to be neutral, unlike when you're listening to the debate show, you need to check them out. They're the first in class. Check them out, pacificcityescrow.com. Hello, everybody. All right. It is Chris Wiggins, as always, your favorite failed congressional candidate. Now, Kelly and Matt won't be joining us today, but in place, we have a wonderful guest that I am so glad we finally have. Brittany Johnson, you know her, the host of The Fumble, and so much more. How you doing?
Good. How are you? And yes, you've been trying to get me on the show for some time now.
Yeah, well, you're
finally made it happen.
Yes, finally. I'm glad, so thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Definitely, yeah. Sorry, we got a lot to discuss about your illustrious work and all the fun.
Can't wait.
And all the fun you get to have. Now, all right, I got to know. All right, I enjoy The Fumble, as do many of the people. You have, what, 1.7 million subscribers or something like that?
1.3.
No, look at that. Just modest. Yeah. No big deal, right? So how did you kind of get involved with that?
Actually, I had a girlfriend that I had hosted with previously, like way back in the day. Yeah. We took like hosting classes together, and I hadn't talked to her for years, and she randomly messaged me like an audition. And it ended up being The Fumble. Nice. She messaged me. I came in, did my audition. The girl that was currently the main host of The Fumble, Crystal Marie, at the time, she was the one that basically like started The Fumble, and she kind of just needed somebody to fill in for her, you know, maybe 1 or 2 days a week sometimes. So they, I guess, had auditioned tons and tons of people. And then as soon as she saw my video, she was like, that's her. I need her. And so,
what?
Yeah, she loved me. And now she's actually one of my really good friends. And that's how I got started. Yeah.
All right. So the very first thing that comes to mind is I need better friends. Like I've never got like I might get an Instagram shout out or something. But, you know, you got this huge brand and franchise. And then number two, the other thing that comes to mind, you kind of had a little Tony Romo story, right? You're the backup-ish or so. You filled in, and then you're the main starter.
The first day I started with The Fumble was the day The Fumble hit 100,000 subscribers.
Nice.
And so I kind of, for maybe a little bit of time, I was just, you know, filling in for Crystal whenever she had something else to do. And then because of The Fumble, I ended up getting a news director saw me and hired me for a job in Louisiana. So I had left The Fumble for like 8 months or so, 9 months, and then I ended up coming back to The Fumble, and now I'm like the main host for The Fumble. So yeah, Crystal kind of like tossed me her, and she does comedy now. She's a comedian now, so she kind of like just gave me The Fumble, and I'm appreciative.
Can you ask if I can be her friend too?
Absolutely. Crystal loves everybody. She's awesome.
I love it. So, all right. So now you've grown them. My math is correct here, right? You've 10 times, right? You've gotten 10 times the audience and all. Is there anything specifically that you've pinpointed why you think that might have been the case? Why it's been able to take off like that?
I think for me personally, it's been the ability to just like be myself. I remember at the beginning when I first started like reporting and stuff, I had like a view or a picture of what a sports reporter is supposed to look like or supposed to be doing. Yeah. And once I let go of that and just kind of started being myself, I think a lot more people gravitated towards me. We actually did I had an idea to do, like I think it's Jimmy Fallon does like the mean tweets or whatever.
I love that.
We had an idea to do that because people in the comments, I mean, it's YouTube. There's trolls everywhere. So people would, say stuff in the comments. So we had a thing to do a video of me reading like the mean comments and like responding to them. And literally from that moment, like I think my fan base changed. People started gravitating to me more because I was just like, real, I'll make fun of myself. I was like comfortable doing that kind of stuff. And I always respond to people in the comments. I'm just like very interactive with the fans, which that's why I love YouTube versus doing TV stuff is just you can, your fans are right there. They're going to they can comment, you can respond to them. And because of that dynamic of, it's not just like YouTube and people can comment in the comments. Like I'm hosting it and I'm also going to the comments, responding to fans and talking to them. And I think that ability to do that has kind of grown The Fumble so much for me, like in my fan base as well. Yeah.
Awesome. Now, in terms of the responding to comments, do you have a favorite comment? You're like, you know what, that person's actually pretty witty and that's good?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. I don't even know.
Yeah.
I get
Sorry to put you on
some
the
pretty
spot like
interesting ones all the time. But it's so weird. I get like, for some reason, they think I look like a turtle. a lot.
What?
So yeah, I always get like a Ninja Turtle.
Buy me that turtle.
Or BJ from Barney the dinosaur.
What?
So those ones are always pretty funny. I get so many all the time, and like I said, I do respond to a lot of them, so I can't even like think of one off the top of my head.
Yeah, all right. Like, a turtle though.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get why I look like a reptile to so many people. But I guess I do.
They're just jealous. That's all.
They gotta find something to say. Yeah. They gotta find something.
Yeah. Now, is there, when you think about it, is there like a segment that? All right, if you have anything in the works, we're not going to get you into talking about it or anything like that. But is there like a segment that perhaps you want to do that you guys haven't been able to get off the ground at all?
No, I mean, I started in January a show called Press Pass with Britt Johnson, and that's kind of what I wanted to do for so long with the Fumble, because usually we were just doing stand-ups, so we were doing like 5 to 6 stories a day where it's just 2-minute stories, and we're just doing like news updates with our commentary added into it. So Press Pass was like, my baby. I really wanted to do it, and it's me basically hanging out with athletes. First half of the show, we'll do like a little interview or whatever. Second half, we'll do something like fun and different. Like I've done spaghetti eating contests with defensive linemen. Did
you win?
No.
Okay.
It was 5 pounds of spaghetti though. I did pretty good. I actually didn't do too far off from what he did, so that was good. But me doing combine drills with like athletes and stuff like that. This coming up week, we are going to, fingers crossed, we're supposed to, he's been really busy, but Kyle Kuzma is supposed to be on the show.
All right.
We'll play horse together. But that's kind of been what I wanted to do more. Yeah. So I like that I get to also do that now with the Fumble, and it's been amazing.
All right. So you got a little mix of Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon happening. I like
a little bit. Yeah.
Can we change your name to Jimmy?
No.
No, Britt's a great one.
Britt's good. A lot more rhymes with Britt, I think.
Yeah.
Not good things, but like there's a lot. I don't know.
So is there any person that you look to as sort of an inspiration as it comes to hosting at all?
I mean, there's so many female hosts that I like grew up watching. Pam Oliver being like one of the number one, because I am a Cowboys fan. She worked for Fox and covered most of the Cowboys games.
Yeah, a lot of their losses.
So anyway, so I saw her often growing up. But I mean, Jamel Hill, like Carrie Champion, Michelle Beadle, like all of those women are so great. And what I like about them is they kind of decided to just go their own path, you know? Like they opened their own doors and decided to go their own direction. They all have their own styles, completely different of the other. And so I don't really there's not one that I look up to like I want to be like. But I do appreciate a lot of the women in the business, because it is really hard to be a female working in sports and to still be who you want to be and portray yourself how you want to portray yourself. So that's kind of, I just get I guess inspiration from that to then go on and be who I am.
Yeah. I'll say it's great that we're at now sort of in society that it's not uncommon to see a woman as a sportscaster, right? Like having Doris Burke do NBA games.
Right.
Having you host the Fumble.
Yes.
Having Michelle.
Well, and the Fumble is actually the very first all-female digital sports brand.
Oh, it is? What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that is legit. Yeah, I'm even more honored now. It's straight up. Yeah, no, it's great seeing that we're at that and it's not the sort of Veronica Lodge from what do you call it, from Anchorman type situation, right? Y'all are front and center, right? Which I appreciate. Now, to get back to something else you said, so you had left to go to Louisiana. Was that your stint in Lafayette?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So all right. So. First of all, I love all of Louisiana, sportsmen's paradise. So, what was it like, sort of doing that right after having come from the Fumble, I guess?
I mean, my whole goal was to get to, doing sports reporting originally. I liked to doing, on the field interviews and stuff like that. So that kind of was what my goal was. When I went to Louisiana, it was a lot harder than I ever could have imagined. They're smaller markets, especially in TV business. Now TV is kind of dying a little bit. ESPN fired 100 on-air people last year because people don't buy cable anymore. They watch their stuff on Hulu or Netflix or whatever the case is. So the news business is especially dying. So whereas before you would have a camera person, somebody that's editing for you. Now you're like a one-woman band. So I was out there with a 40-pound camera on my shoulder, shooting the highlights, running to the truck, editing on the computer really quick, sending it over to the station, and setting up the camera myself to go live with nobody behind the camera. So it was a lot harder. I was working like 15, 18 hours a day.
Wow.
In the Louisiana sun.
Yeah.
Louisiana is hot. It's really humid. After my first week there, I gave up on even doing my hair and wearing makeup. My hair was in a bun. Like every time I was on TV, I had no makeup on. But I loved it though, and now, coming back to the Fumble and stuff, especially doing my show like Press Pass, like, because I was there, I learned how to edit. I learned how to shoot. Now it makes me better as a host because I can, tell people, like my editor, exactly what I want and speak in their language, or a shooter, I can tell them exactly what I need from them for a shoot. And it's just, as a host, it's made me a lot better because I was able to do everything, like, which was really cool.
Oh, I love it.
I wouldn't go back to it, but it was cool to learn everything. Yeah.
You ever visit Lafayette? Like, I know you won't go back and work there, right? But do you ever visit the city?
No.
No. Oh, so you're
Louisiana,
not gonna.
I mean, New Orleans.
Yeah, you'll do that
all day. Yeah. New Orleans is actually one of my favorite cities.
I love New Orleans too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Lafayette.
Yeah, I love everything in New Orleans.
Okay.
Straight up.
I still actually get people that message me and they're like, "Britt, can you please come back to Lafayette?" So.
Is that Raging Cajun country?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. All right.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, they my college, they were rivals with the Raging Cajuns, and so I went to. That's why I'm familiar with Lafayette. And the Cajun Dome.
It's so interesting. There are like names, like learning how to say names.
Yeah,
they're so difficult because something that would look like Robichex is technically pronounced Robichaux. Or if it's a last name, if Richard is a last name, it's actually pronounced Richard. Like, there's so many little things that they like, and they are diehard on their sports and and everything. So if you don't say something right, they will
You're shunned.
Get you. They will get you. So
yeah.
But it was fun being out there. Even things like baseball was huge, obviously, for UL and for LSU, because the year I was there, softball and baseball for both schools went to like the College World Series.
Nice.
So it was like
that 2009 or what?
No, it was recent.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
it was like 2 years ago.
Okay,
so,
all right. I was way off.
Yeah.
Significantly.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't make it very far in the playoffs, but I mean, it was all like basically all four teams were there and they were amazing. And I got to learn a lot more about softball and baseball because prior to that, I had just covered, basketball, football and stuff. So it was cool.
All right. Now, speaking of football, obviously the show's called The Fumble, but speaking of football, this is a
Which is
sneaky
interesting
transition.
because we mostly cover basketball at the Fumble.
Is that right?
Yeah.
The irony.
It's weird, yeah.
Yeah. So I read on your site that watching the Cowboys created your interest in sports.
Yes.
All right. So watching the Cowboys created my dislike of the Cowboys. But who is your favorite Cowboy ever?
So many to choose from, and I'm actually related to Bob Hayes, who is a
nice.
former Cowboy, way back in the day. But Michael Irvin's my favorite player, and he was probably one of my first sports interviews I did as well, which happened to be one of my favorite interviews I've done.
He's gregarious.
He's great. Obviously he's commentates and he's an analyst and stuff like that, so he naturally just knows how to answer questions better than like a regular person would. So it was, and obviously it was Cowboys, so it was like a dream come true. It was like the best interview I've ever done still to date. So but yeah, Michael, he's amazing.
Yeah.
3-time Super Bowl champion,
Yeah. I talked to him about 5 days after he got inducted in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, because he used to come to the gym that I worked at back in Dallas. And then I don't know if nobody had came up to him after that or something like that, but he took a shine to me afterwards, and he'd pull me into the locker room randomly during Cowboy games and gush over Troy Aikman's commentary. And then being a Giants fan, all right, and this is
you're a Giants fan.
Yeah.
I didn't like you. There was something in the air. I was just
that's why the wall is blue. That's why the wall is blue.
It looks like Cowboys.
No. You see what's on top? That's Giants blue. That's Cowboy blue on the bottom. Like a lot of their meetings.
Yeah, the bottom,
especially their playoff meetings.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So that's what happens. Yeah.
Listen, I don't want to hear anything from you guys if you don't pay Odell Beckham Jr. because that man deserves a check.
Louisiana sticking together. Look, we're going to make sure that he gets paid. All right.
We'll see.
The Giants are a family. Best family in sports.
You guys should. That man needs to be paid.
No, they're going to take care of him. All right.
We'll
Look,
see.
that hair.
If not, we could take him over here at the Cowboys. We need a new receiver.
He's a little bit too progressive for Jerry Jones culture. All right. Gosh. He brings the heat. So, one thing I wanted to ask you is, what do you make of sort of this notion? Like last year, Cam Newton came out and made a huge gaffe. I don't know if it's his feelings or not, right? But basically had said that told a very competent reporter, that it's interesting seeing females talk about routes, right? So what do you make of that notion that women don't know about football, right? Especially like where we're at now, right?
Right. I actually used to be friends with Cam when he was at Auburn, so
okay.
It was very interesting to hear him say that. But he's from the South. I guess they just naturally have different, I don't know, ideas about like women, and he's a very chivalrous guy. Like thinks women should be like probably at home and taking care. I don't know.
So very Southern, very Southern.
He is, yes, but I think it's interesting because I would understand. I get like females don't really play football unless it's like a one of those special leagues, but they can't like most schools don't have a female football team. I get that, but most of the guys that are reporters in those rooms, media rooms, have never played football either. That's really the only thing I could say that he could have assumed is like, oh, well, there's no girl football teams really, but that's like, doesn't even make sense because most of the guys that are reporters and stuff have never played football either.
Exactly.
So that would be the only logical thing you could say to make that okay, but it's not okay. I don't know. I grew up watching football and statistically, I guess more males would know about football than girls do, but I don't see why a girl, especially if that's her job, wouldn't know what's going on different from anybody else, because those guys weren't running routes and weren't doing like, I could see as an analyst maybe, most analysts are former players or coaches, but other than that, I don't know. It's weird. It's to me, I almost like it because then when I do know what I'm talking about, like I can shut people up, like people don't expect me to know what I'm talking about. So when I get into it with people, they're just like, oh, wait, like, and especially if they say something wrong and I catch them on it because they just assume that I don't know what I'm talking about. So they're
that might be because you're a Cowboy fan though. Like, all right, I'm just kidding. All right, go ahead, continue. Continue.
But that's basically it. Like I don't know. Me and my friends actually go to bars and stuff all the time during like football season, and I always end up getting into it with some guy. Yeah. And
this must be
my girlfriends are always yes, I do go there often. The Cowboys fan club is actually there every week. So
I see that little area on the sofa and like everyone
the big area where all the great looking people are.
Yeah,
that's
and they're like
Cowboys
they walk
Nation.
out disappointed at like 7 p.m. every Sunday, and like they're never there in January, like mid-January. No, okay. I know what you mean. Go ahead, continue.
But all my girlfriends are always just like, you don't want to do that with her. Yeah. Like, she's going to make you look stupid. Yeah. So, to me, I like it. I would rather be, I guess, underrated. You know what I mean? Like, I would rather people assume I don't know something and then me actually know it than assume the opposite. So,
yeah, I definitely understand that.
Whatever, Cam.
Yeah,
he learned his lesson.
Yeah, we need Jameis Winston. I feel like Jameis Winston, like similar vein, both an Alabama connection there too. With I feel like that's something that's like I've expect that more out of a statement from him, like as opposed to Cam. Right? It's ridiculous in any regard, no matter who it comes from. So, do you have a favorite football movie?
A favorite football movie.
TV show.
Well, obviously, I love Last Chance U. Yes, I love Hard Knocks. But Remember the Titans, I think is probably my favorite. And there's also another movie. Most people don't know it. It's called They Call Me Sir.
They Call Me Sir.
Yes.
What's that about? I imagine it's about football.
It's about like a high school football kid and like his struggles of going through, having to decide if he's going to play football or like work or whatever. His family was very poor And it was kind of like back in the day, and he was a black kid playing football and stuff. And his name is Sir, and his mom said he named him that because then as soon as people meet him and greet him, they're automatically like giving him a sign of respect because they're calling him Sir. So that's why she named him that. But it's like it's on Netflix if anyone wants to check it out. But it's like an old movie, but it's like one of my favorite movies. But remember the Titans, I know, like verbatim.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't ever watch with me. I'm annoying.
You strong side or left side? Who's your favorite
Strong side?
Yeah. Who's your favorite player on Remember the Titans? Sunshine?
No.
Or the running back?
No.
The running back?
What's his name? The big guy.
Oh, with the blonde hair?
Yeah.
The white guy. Is he offensive line or defense? Offensive line, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, because he got mad.
And he was like slow, like, he got like bad grades or whatever. But he was the only one at the beginning. He's like, I'm just here to play football. I don't care, who's black and who's white and stuff. So he's like my favorite player.
I think Julius was the most racist person in that movie. Like, he was like, that guy comes over singing
he had
soul
a chip
songs.
on his shoulder,
Very much, yeah. I was like, this guy's clearly like the whites don't want to sit with him. He comes over. He's ready to eat the southern food, or I don't know they had southern food, but he's ready to eat the camp food and sing sing Motown with them. And then Julius like, no, get over there, right? Dropping C-bombs on him. I wasn't happy about that. But Julius is great though. Yeah. It's a good movie.
Yeah. It's a good movie. And it's a true story, so. True. Or like Friday Night Lights as well.
Yeah. I like the movie
better
than
Booby Miles,
the show.
are you kidding me?
Yeah, when he's crying in the car with his uncle.
I cry every time I see. He's like, what am I going to do without football?
Yeah, I know. It's sad.
Yeah. I ended up like looking up all this stuff after, like his.
He had a terrible life afterwards.
Yeah. Well, he had twin daughters and he played city college ball for a couple years, and I think now he's like a trash guy or something.
Well, he had like a few arrests or something and run-ins and such. It's a movie. Yeah. I love that movie. I saw it with my stepdad in theaters. I think it was the first time I paid to go to a movie too.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, hey, stepdad, come with me. Because of course I could just call him stepdad, right? But I was like, hey, let's go to a movie.
Hey, stepdad,
yeah,
come
hey,
with
stepdad,
me.
right? And then got bought all the popcorn, which taught me to this day to never buy anything at the movie theater. But yeah.
If you're a girl, you just put it in your purse.
That's true.
You bring a big, like the big bag I came in with today, I can put like a whole meal in there.
Oh, nice.
A drink, a bottle of wine if I wanted.
Yeah.
Everything.
I used to run the worst tricks to try to get things snuck in there too. Like I'd put it put it under my belt loop and like I'd hold it that way they wouldn't see like a perforation popping out. And then they go like, hey sir, what's wrong? I was like, I really need to use the restroom where it's at, right? And then boom, like bags of goldfish and like Cheez-Its and.
What is your go-to movie snack?
The cookie dough bites. And like I hate sweets too. So
interesting.
But I love those things. They're the best.
Popcorn. I love popcorn.
Yeah, it gets stuck in the teeth though. I can't. Yeah.
Well, that's what floss is for.
Well, yeah, you don't have it in the theater, do you?
Well, yeah, you should. I carry a little thing of floss in my car.
And
I'm actually one of those people that technically, not every day, but like every other day I floss.
Yeah.
The dentist always says floss every day, and nobody ever flosses. I actually do floss.
I floss 3 times a day, and I hate it.
Really?
Yeah, I hate it.
I like flossing. It feels good.
It does?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And you do it in the movie theater, too? You take it out of the car and bring it to the movie theater for your popcorn?
No, but I'm eating popcorn the whole movie.
Yeah, all right.
The best popcorn is actually day-old popcorn. Whatever's left of your popcorn, just bring it out, sit it out on your counter. Next morning, eat it. It's the best.
Look at that.
It's the best popcorn in the world.
Britt has a dining show now too, with the best
day-old popcorn.
Foods. Yeah.
Yes.
So now you so one thing I really loved about you, amongst other things. So you grew up as an Army brat, quote unquote.
I did. Yes.
Yeah. All right. So I moved around a lot. What was your favorite place to live in growing up?
Kentucky.
Whereabouts in Kentucky?
Fort Knox, Kentucky, where all the gold is held.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I spent actually a lot of my childhood in Kentucky. We had moved to Kentucky, moved back to Kentucky.
Okay.
So we were there a couple times, and it was just fun. Like, it had woods. You could run around and play in the woods. It would rain all the time. It was just like a fun place to grow up as a kid, because there were so many things to do and sneak, and I don't know. We used to always act like we saw Bigfoot and stuff, and I don't know, bike ride everywhere, So it was like one of those towns, and especially just being on base, it's pretty safe being on base. So we were allowed to do actually play outside. Kids do not play outside anymore.
That's true.
And we were able to play outside and just had to be home when the street lights came on.
I remember that. I went to elementary, like kindergarten, preschool, and I think first grade on Norfolk Naval Station. And then we moved to, my stepdad was in the Navy, so I still called him stepdad. Called him chief petty officer
stepdad.
Yeah. So we moved down to
my
San Diego.
stepdad too.
Yeah. You
that was in the military.
You just call him stepdad too?
No, I call him Kevin.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Mine has 5 names too. It's Trini, Trini. So yeah. But I just called him stepdad.
Yeah.
Just
really? You really called him stepdad?
Nah, just kidding.
What do you call your stepdad?
Well, he's since passed, but I called him Trini, and then Pop.
Oh, okay.
And it would I started calling him Pop like way later, and it just didn't seem, because I was like 17. I was like, I was like, we got to go back.
Yeah. My stepdad actually knew me since I was like 1 year old, but I always just called him Kevin.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So So that is so interesting. All right. I've known mine since I was 3, but I had memories and like stuff like that. Right. And like you knew him since you were 1, and then just about it, you're like, all right, this is Kevin.
Well, I still had my dad.
Yeah.
So my dad was still around,
Yeah.
So my dad was dad and stepdad was Kevin.
That makes sense. You wouldn't call a baby wouldn't just go, hey, stepdad.
Yeah.
Or a
maybe you
dad
might.
too. Yeah, I would. Yeah.
My dad, had other kids after me with like another woman, and so I actually call her my bonus mom. I called her bonus mom. Yeah.
All right.
But I mean, when I see her though, I called her name, Rhonda. I would call her name. But like if I'm speaking of her, I call her like bonus mom, because she actually, like, she's not my stepmom because my dad and her never got married, and she went and got married after like later. My dad's a Rolling Stone, for anybody who wonders.
I think my dad wins. I think. Well, let me not say I don't know the dad situation, but I think my sister and I lost count, and so did my dad. But I want to say that
kids, kids.
Yeah. So I want to say, so he doesn't remember how many are before us, and he gets it wrong. Gets
oh
8. Yeah.
My gosh,
like he posted
hilarious.
something on Facebook where my sister's older than me. He posts a picture of her. It's clearly her, right? And he goes, this is my youngest. This is my youngest 25th birthday, right? And I just turned 30 this year, right?
Right.
And my sister's older than me, and he posts a picture of her. He goes, this is my youngest 25 years ago, and she's like 2 months old in the picture, wearing Giants gear, by the way. And I'm like, wow. I was like, this guy just doesn't know, right? Loses track of what number we are. Oh, you're like, he goes, you guys are my firstborn kids. I was like, okay.
Dads just aren't good at that though.
Bad.
Even if like it was like not even that situation. I think dads that have 3 kids or something don't even know how old their kids are, when their birthdays are, or anything.
Yeah.
It's a guy thing.
It's a guy. No, I remember the names of kids that aren't mine.
That's nice. That's nice.
And their middle names. Yeah, just straight up. It's like
you remembered my name. Wow. That is the thing.
Yeah. Now, so all right. So I guess long term, right? You got the Fumble's cracking off. It's doing incredible. Sort of, if you had like I was gonna say magic wand, but let's go lamp, since the new Aladdin movie's coming out with Will Smith.
I love Aladdin.
I love it too. I love the song too. I know how to kill it.
Which song?
All of them.
Well, Baba had them 40 thieves.
Wait, what is that from number 3?
No, it's from the first one.
It's from the first
one?
Yeah. What part?
Had 1,000 lives. My master, you're cause up your sleeve, you got on.
Who sang that?
I got some power in my corner now, some heavy ammunition in my.
This is
the
great.
Genie sung it.
Oh, okay, all right.
I got some punch pizzazz, Yahoo and house. All you gotta do is rub that lamp.
All right, now I see why you got the job on the Fumble. That is legit.
Because I can't sing. They're like, this girl has nothing going for her.
Is that from You Never Had a Friend Like Me?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I didn't know the lyrics. All right, I only knew the chorus and all.
Oh, well, you don't love Aladdin like I do.
Yeah, that was the first movie I saw in theater too.
Really?
Then we bought the VHS and I watched it until it broke, and I built out a whole new world in the car randomly a lot of times. The Jasmine part.
Oh, yeah. You look like you sing the Jasmine part.
Yeah, I got to. So you have a magic lamp, all right? Mm-hmm. And not the Aladdin magic lamp, right? The DuckTales movie magic lamp back in the day. So let's say you have that one. All right, long term, where do you want to take all of this?
So I actually have a show idea that I've been having in my head for like 10 years now.
Oh,
so
if you say it here, it's a copyright, so you're good to say it here. Yeah.
My goal is to get that show on something, whether it's Netflix, Hulu, FX, I don't know what it is. But I necessarily don't even need to host the show. I just want to create the show, and
Executive
it's kind of more
producer.
like a docu-series kind of thing. Has to do with sports and some other stuff too. And I'm surprised.
What's the other stuff?
I'm not gonna say everything.
Well, no, this is the
right now.
copyright. Like, look, if anybody, we're gonna tell them we got like 7 billion listeners, right? So they heard it, all right? If they steal it, so all right, you don't have to tell us that part of it, yeah.
And next thing I know, you're gonna be executive producing my show.
Now, I'm not trying to get that big ass lawsuit. No, not at all.
But I've had this idea for a really long time. I'm really surprised it actually hasn't been done yet. So I really want to do that, and just I see it being something that is going to be really huge, and that could branch off into other things too, like other mini series and stuff like that. So that's what I really want to do. My goal as far as hosting, I wanted to do a show like Sports Nation. Sports Nation is actually going to be no longer now. They announced that Sports Nation's gone.
What?
So
that because Marcellus left?
Well, and Michelle Beadle left, and then Max had left a while ago. So it was like the new. I just think the new cast that they had loved Carrie Champion, but that's just not like something that she should. That's not like her thing, or they didn't all as a cast gel well together for what Sports Nation was or should have been. Because I mean, there's tons of times where I'll host with somebody and we just don't host well together, and then other times you can host with somebody and it's laughs, it's great, and it's just people gelling together. And I just think they didn't gel together for Sports Nation. That's why it is ending. Yeah. But I would love to do like a show like that. Like I love commentating and just like talking crap and making fun of stuff and just like lighthearted, fun stuff. I don't really want to be like the Diane Sawyer or something of sports or whatever. Like that's not like my goal. I like fun, lighthearted, cool stuff. That's why I love doing digital stuff as well, because it gives me the opportunity to say my opinion, be funny, stupid on the show, whatever I want to do, and it works. So,
So you guys heard it here first. She's got a show called Sports Society, and she's gonna have Colin Coward as her co-host, basically.
No, not Colin.
Not Colin.
No.
All right.
No.
Not LZ Granderson.
No.
All right.
Somebody that nobody knows yet, probably.
Okay.
It'll be like a new person. Like me and this person will start a show.
You're trying to pay them less,
so I'm actually really good friends with Nate Burleson. He does the Good Morning Football on NFL Network.
Yeah, former Seahawk, right?
Yes, Seahawks, Lions, and Vikings. Yeah. But he, I actually originally met him because it's probably been like 3 or 4 years now. I did a test shoot with NFL Network, and he was doing his test shoot at the same time. So we did like a show together. Yeah. And I would probably since then he's been on like other shows and podcasts that I've had. And I think he's probably like a good person that I would be on a show with, because we vibe together, and he's kind of like more chill, laid back, funny, so maybe me and Nate will get a show together one day.
Nice. That's what we need to see.
Yeah.
Right? Burleson and Britt, or Britt and Burleson.
Oh, okay.
Right? Yeah.
I like that name. Yeah. Nice.
So I want to shift focus to basketball, since you guys cover that so much on the Fumble.
Okay.
So the whole world wants to know, because there's a lot of haters out there that wear purple and gold. Why the Clippers? You're a fan of the Clippers. What's going on? Where did this come from?
I actually used to work for the Clippers back in the day.
Oh, Dunleavy days.
I'm not gonna say the year because it's gonna age me. But I used to work for the Clippers. Prior to working for the Clippers, when I was a little kid back in the day, way back in the day, I did like the Lakers. When Kobe Bryant was number 8, and then he had an afro.
Yeah, I love that Kobe.
And I loved Robert Horry and Rick Fox and Derek. I loved that whole squad way back. You know, and then I just liked that, I guess, because that's what my family and stuff liked. And then I liked the Bulls because my dad actually used to bodyguard for Michael Jordan.
Nice.
And like during his, like when he did his like camps and stuff like that, my dad would like travel with them and do some of his camps.
That's awesome.
So obviously, and Michael Jordan's the GOAT. You know, he's hands down my favorite player of all time.
Yeah.
So, but I never really had like my own, like this is my team because I like this team.
Mm-hmm.
And randomly when I was in high school, I think I went to a Clipper game because Clipper games are cheaper and whatever.
Where'd you go to high school at? Let the world know.
Central High School in Fresno, California.
Look at that. All right. And you came all the way to LA for a Clipper game, or was it a Kings game?
Yeah, well, I have family and stuff that lives out here. So I came out, went to a Clipper game, and the games are fun because the team used to suck so bad. The entertainment had to be so good to get people in the stands, you know? So they had, you know, people flipping everywhere. They had like a spirit squad. They had the dance team. They just had T-shirt tosses like every 2 seconds. Like the game was just so much fun that I decided I was going to be a Clipper fan. And then when I graduated college, I moved to LA the next day, and I had a job already for the Clippers. So I worked for the Clippers for a little bit. Yeah,
I'm legit jealous. Like I've been a Clipper fan since I moved to California in the mid '90s. So my existence with basketball has absolutely sucked. There's been nothing to
never
be proud
out of the second round.
Yeah, I liked them back when they played at the LA Sports Arena, and their coach was like a military drill instructor.
I like that they're gonna get their new arena now.
Yeah, I love it too. Yeah.
I think that'll maybe help them.
Yeah, we need our identity, right? Yeah. We're right in the heart of the that's what we need. Yeah. All right. It's been a miserable existence liking them for me. It's just back in the day, everyone was like, Chris, turn cold and be a Kobe fan. I was like, no, I like Eric. I was like, I like Kobe, but I was like Eric Piatkowski, Corey Maggette. All right. I
love Corey Maggette.
Yeah. So and it's been bad. So all right. So are you going to become a Laker fan now though?
No, absolutely not.
No. There's nothing that can get you to go turn.
I mean, now that I'm old enough, I'm pretty stuck with my teams. I'm pretty loyal to my teams and stuff like that. So,
who's your baseball team?
Dodgers.
Good.
Yes,
all right. Good.
Yes.
All right. I was afraid you would say like the San Francisco Giants,
which a lot of my family is.
Oh, I don't like
Fresno.
that family.
Fresno's or the Giants, one of their teams is in Fresno, the Fresno Grizzlies.
Okay. All right. That makes sense.
Yeah, one of their minor league teams is there. So a lot of people in Fresno are just by default also Giants fans.
Yeah.
But no, not me.
All right.
Dodgers
good.
fan. My little niece, actually, she plays baseball, and she is like, she just turned 8, and she actually plays football. She plays baseball, like everything. Like she's like, I don't know, this athletic freak child.
Yeah.
And she plays baseball, and her baseball team's called the Dodgers. So she thinks I like the Dodgers because of her. But it's whatever. But she's a Dodger fan now too. I got her from the family to be Dodgers with me. So
yeah. So one thing I wanted to comment on. So you post some pretty progressive views on your social media sometimes, and I see people just like sniping and like causing a lot of flack. How do you sort of, and like with you being someone that naturally sort of responds to things, right? How do you kind of deal with that, right, without making it like personal or just going completely in on the person?
So when I originally started at the Fumble, there was a guy that, an internet troll, he like commented one day and he was like, oh, I love this new host, she's amazing, you know, like talking about one of my videos. I worked 2 days later. It was the same guy, and he said, who is this new girl? What happened to the girl from 2 days ago? I like her better, and da-da-da. And it was both of them were me. So that's when I like really was like, you got to take this stuff with like a grain of salt. These people are trolls. They're sitting in their basements, like just on their computers or phones. Like I only get I guess affected by stuff if they're maybe talking about my friends or my family in the pictures. But other than that, like, I mean, now you can pretty much say anything to me, and it's like, you don't pay my bills. You're not responsible for me having a job or not. You're still following me and still looking at my stuff. So you're still a fan, whether like you're talking crap or not. So I guess thank you for the view. Thank you for the comment. I appreciate it. I'm pretty sure you probably liked this picture as well while you're talking crap.
Yeah.
And a lot of the guys too, when I do respond to people, they'll just be like, "Oh my gosh, you responded! I love you, Britt." And I'm like, "Didn't you just talk crap about me?" But I usually now I try to just respond more to the positive people because I know people are saying negative stuff because they want to get a response out of me. So I try to just not even address them. Sometimes it's like, if you catch me when I'm in a mood, I'm going to clap back. But I usually just try not to say anything to them now. Just talk to the positive people.
All right, you're way better than me because, like, people go to, like, for some reason, people don't put the comments. They won't put the comments. They go to immediately DM me.
Oh, my DMs are insane. Yeah. You think my comments look like that? Yeah. My DMs are insane.
Yeah, and I go, I was like, if I posted something you don't like, I was like, and you feel so strongly about it, right? I was like, why don't you go ahead and, that was bad. Why? I was like, why don't you let it stand up to public scrutiny and put it on there, right? And I let them know, I was like, look, first of all, I have a debate show, all right? If you're worth it, you can come in there and debate me. I was like, I guarantee I'll wax you, right?
Yeah.
I was like, you can go to the comment section, right? I was like, and I'm pretty sure you'll get eviscerated by everybody, right? I was like, and if that's the case, you need to re-examine your thinking, but coming in the DM is not going to do it.
Right.
Yeah. And I like research stuff about them too, and then I'll start using that against them. If I do feel I want to say something, right? I'll go to LinkedIn, look up their work history, right?
That is so funny. So I had on my first episode of Press Pass with Britt Johnson, I had Matt Barnes on, and so and he, if you haven't heard, is like the clapback king. Like he always trolls people back. He always like says something back. So we actually at the beginning of the show went through some of messages about me, and then like he kind of helped me with like, oh, this is how you should respond, and then we went through with some of him. But that's what he said do too. He like researches their page. He'll go click on it. Usually people that are trolling don't have a profile picture. Like they have some picture, it's like LeBron James or something, and like they have 0 followers.
So Russian bots.
So what are you gonna do? You know, they're little trolls, and most of the people that say negative stuff say it from like a troll account, like their burner account. Like say it on your actual page, and then we'll talk.
Yeah, straight up, real talk. So now I want to go back to Kentucky really quickly. All right.
The Bluegrass State.
Oh yes. All right. So Cardinals or Wildcats?
Neither.
Or do you like the Murray State Racers?
I am a Tar Heels fan.
You're a Tar Heel. What? Yes. Why? Oh, because of Jordan?
Jordan, yes. And actually, when I was in college, my boyfriend at the time was playing for the Tar Heels.
Okay. We have a guess-em game about to start here. Football or basketball?
Basketball.
Okay, all right. National championship ring or no?
Yes, he has one.
Okay, all right. Rashad McCants.
That is correct.
All right.
How did you know that?
I just tried to go. I was like, all right, she doesn't seem like she would date Hansbrough.
No, Tyler.
Okay, yeah. And then I was like, I just don't know that. But I know
it's so funny because I know Ty. He's a funny guy. He's too short for me.
Okay,
yes,
all right.
Yes, that is correct. But
what's the height that if he's too short?
I say anyone under 6'1" is called a friend.
Dang! All right, the heightism land you in the friend zone. All right, first class in the friend zone. All right, yeah.
Unfortunately, well, I'm not that tall, so I don't know why. Like I prefer pretty tall. I'm 5'4", which is technically average height for a female is 5'2", so I'm above average slightly. Right. I'm the shortest of all my siblings. My sisters are all younger than me, and they're all like at least 3 inches taller than me, which is interesting.
Yeah.
And my brother, one of my brothers is like kind of shorter. He's like 5'11". My other brother is like 6'3". So I don't know.
Yeah, I think
I used to like back in college. I actually like Rashad was actually my first tall guy I dated. Before that, I liked my boyfriend. Before that was 5'8".
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah. I think a lot of women.
I guess once you go tall, you never go back. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Once you go tall, it's the be all end all.
No, maybe that's a good one.
So I think like a lot of ladies, I don't know, they have that height restriction, right?
Yeah,
like,
and it's so sad because I would rather talk to somebody that's tall and not as cute versus short and really cute.
Yeah.
Like the height makes people cuter to me, which is weird.
Oh, wow.
Well, it's not weird. A lot of girls are like that, you know. which is like, I mean, guys probably would rather talk to a pretty girl, whether she's short or tall, but like a lot of girls that I know personally would rather talk to a tall guy, even if he's not as cute as the shorter guy. So
like I think like that's the one thing that I guess that's like the one
thing.
That's the one thing that women will be shallow on, because women will go for personality and like when the guy looks like Fred Flintstone, right?
Yeah.
And guys are just shallow 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Right?
No, for sure. Guys are always shallow.
Yeah.
Like, and then it's funny. One of my guy friends was like, oh, like girls only talk to guys that are successful. And I was like, well, do you talk to ugly girls? Like, you know, like you're shallow too, you know, like everybody's shallow in some way or another, you know?
Yeah. What
are you going to do?
Yeah, I don't talk to girls that are unsuccessful. Like my grandma told, like when I was little, right? I don't know why she told me this, right? I was like 5 and she goes, she had a few things. She goes, first, I can be broke all by myself, right? And then number 2, for the looks department, she goes, I know that looks aren't everything, but you still got to wake up next to the person. And like that always stuck with me. So it's
Those are good.
Yeah. So
my grandma used to tell me, all men are shit, just pick the best pile. So
I love it. Just savage.
Grandmas
are the best, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
advice to live by, I guess. I don't know.
Will you get a tattoo of that?
No, never.
No.
I do have a tattoo for my grandma, though. It's an elephant. My grandma loved elephants.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Have you ridden an elephant?
No, I will never ride an elephant.
No?
I am very animal friendly.
Yeah.
I actually went to Thailand this year for my birthday, and they do a lot of, it's called trekking to ride the elephants and stuff like that, and the elephants are treated very bad. Elephants actually have the best memory out of any animal in the world. So
if you bury, they'll go back to the burial ground of an elephant.
Yeah, they remember everything. So all the stuff that's bad that happens to them when they're in the circus or doing this kind of stuff, working all day long and stuff like that, being whipped and stuff. Actually, all the places in Thailand, like they literally have like a knife that stands next to, like when they're having people like ride the elephants, and like if the elephant starts slowing down or comes off things, they just kind of like stab the elephant with it. Yeah, one of my friends actually rode elephant like 2 years ago, and that's kind of what made her realize like, oh my gosh, this is like horrible, and their eyes just look really depressed and stuff. So I will not ride an elephant, but I did go to elephant sanctuary.
Okay.
And these are elephants that have been like saved from that kind of stuff, and you can bathe them and feed them, and they like have an open space where they can run around and be free. So I did that. It was amazing. Yeah, but don't ride elephants, everybody.
You guys heard it here. All right. Do not attack any type of elephant.
I know sports and I know about elephants.
Yeah, all right. It's if you ride an elephant, stop listening to my show. I don't know if she wants to make this declaration because the people at the Fumble might be mad. But if you you ride an elephant, stop listening to the last retort. We're not about that though. So
save the animals. Animals are friends, not food. I believe that too.
Well, yes. Has there
I'm
been
a
high influx
vegetarian.
of people eating elephant? Or you said animals, not elephant. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right. You're a vegetarian. How long have you been a vegetarian?
In December it'll be 8 years.
Ooh, right on.
Yeah.
Yes, right on.
Yeah.
That is I don't eat red meat and all amongst the other things I don't eat, and so I'm slowly trying to wean myself to.
Yeah, mine was I never intentionally meant to become a vegetarian. It just kind of happened.
Yeah.
I stopped. I watched a documentary, and then I just was like changing my diet. Like every 6 months, I would just take one thing out, whether it was like pork,
Pork's
then
awful.
beef and stuff, and then I just started taking little stuff out, and then I was just eating chicken and turkey meat for like 2 years, and then 1 month I realized, I haven't eaten any meat for a month. Let me just stick with this, and
then boom.
Almost 8 years later.
Nice. Look at that.
Still doing it. So.
But you do get the day-old popcorn. That does make it.
Yes. Yes. That is my thing I get, I guess.
Yeah. So what can we expect next from the Fumble, though?
Who knows? I mean, it's YouTube, it's digital stuff. Obviously, like football, the month of August has been pretty slow.
Yeah.
Views go down and stuff like that just because there's nothing really going on.
Yeah.
The bulk of free agency's over for basketball. Football's been in camp. Nothing's really going on there with the players. Like basketball players are trying to just get back in the gym and get ready for their season 2. So nobody's doing shady stuff or whatever, that stuff that we cover on the Fumble. But next month, everything should pick back up, you know?
Right.
So the Fumble has been talking about possibly doing separate shows for basketball and football and stuff.
Would you probably host both then?
I don't know. They asked me what I would rather do.
Yeah.
Which football honestly used to be my favorite sport, but just with everything that's been happening the last couple of years, I've kind of
the Cowboys losing or
no, just like the anthem stuff, and I just feel like owners take advantage of the players. They don't pay the players well. They don't have great benefits after they retire. All the stuff with CTE and stuff. I just don't feel the same about football that I used to. So I don't know. I've kind of, especially since the Fumble has kind of been more basketball the last like year and a half.
Yeah.
I kind of, I guess, like basketball more. I love Adam Silver. I think he's an amazing
he's great.
Guy. Like, I don't like Roger Goodell, so like I don't know.
Imagine how much better the NFL would be if they
had a better commissioner.
If they had Silver, like think about there'd be nobody would compete with it in any manner, right?
Yeah.
Like they wouldn't be losing.
Yeah, Roger just needs to go. I say it all the time. I've been saying it for years, and I just don't know why. Right. He's had so many opportunities where he has done something bad and could have just said I'm going to step down, and he just won't do it. And
he's a pretty weak leader. Yeah, if he was, no one would if he was president, he wouldn't get a second term. It's just really weak leadership out of him.
Yeah,
it's like he reacts to everything, and he's not proactive about things, and it's the things that the disgusting stuff that's happening.
And he does stuff just for lenses, just for camera stuff. Like he'll do stuff if he has to do stuff in certain situations, but he never just initially thinks to make the right decision, ever. So
he's always wrong. Yeah. Imagine if the Urban Meyer thing happened in the NFL. It wouldn't have been a 3-game suspension. It would have been he would have been oh well.
Well, it depends on what team it was, I feel like he obviously has favorites with teams and players.
Oh. Which ones do you think he favors?
Well, obviously
against.
It's been known that was close friends with the Patriots organization, and then they kind of because of the Tom Brady thing that happened and his suspension and stuff like that, they kind of had to set. But Roger Goodell only suspended him anyway because he felt like he had to because of the lenses around. If it the Patriots obviously they had 2 huge cheating scandals, and this was the first time something's ever even been done about it, and he just felt like he had to do it because he had to do it, but he wouldn't have done it if there wasn't pressure to do it. So that's why I don't like him as a leader. He doesn't do stuff and doesn't stand behind what he does. He kind of just does stuff because he feels this will make me look better or not in this instance, you know.
All right, so you won't be doing a test read for the NFL anytime soon. Yeah. All right. Well, Britt, I really want to thank you for being in here.
Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for coming.
I'm glad I finally made it on.
Yes, we are glad too. All right. Now, tell everyone where they can watch the Fumble. All right. I mean, you obviously have a lot of subscribers, but more always.
Yes, you can watch the Fumble on YouTube. It's also on AOL Sports as well. You can watch my personal channel on YouTube as well. Just look up Britt Johnson. I think it's Britt Johnson's my name on there.
Personal channel is great too.
And my all social media is I am Britt Johnson.
All right, right
Pretty
on.
simple.
Yeah. I need to adopt that. I'm just gonna steal your name too. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just use one T.
Just do one T. I have 2 T's in mine. So follow the one with 2 T's. That's the real account. Yeah. That's the real account, guys.
Yeah.
Chris will have the fake account.
Exactly. Yes. Russian bots. All right. Well, everybody, thanks again for tuning.
All the trolls go to that account.
That's right. Yes. Just come here.
Yeah.
Send me everything, and I'll reply back.
All the trolls will go there.
Yeah. You guys can still be giddy when replying.
You can debate all day long.
Right on. Well, everybody, thanks again for joining us with The Last Retort. Also, we want to send our condolences and prayers out to Senator John McCain, and we'll see you all next week. The Last Retort, this is Chris Wiggins. Bye.
Yeah.